Good afternoon. Pretty much straight up 12 o'clock on the Super Bowl Sunday. Hope you have plans to either avoid the game if that's what you want, or have a good time watching the game a little bit later today. This is your winter update for what we're tracking, dropping snow levels Monday night, ending early Tuesday morning in terms of the precipitation. So, what's new? Well, as we get closer to the event, the National Weather Service has put up a winter storm watch. This is generally for areas 1,000 feet and higher, which will have the best chance to get, some significant stacking snow. So notice it's the kind of battleship blue color here. It includes the coast range, but not the coast. It includes all inland areas once you get down to around Eugene and south, and then the Cascade foothill communities at Sandy, for example, up over the Cascades themselves. It does not include the Columbia River Gorge. It does not include downtown Portland. Why wouldn't it include the gorge? Because remember, we have a west wind coming with this, which could, even though you get up into elevation by the time you hit Hood River, the west winds may hold along I-84 through the gorge above freezing, or it would be just a short window of a little bit of snow, but not much. Anyway, this is the winter storm watch up for Monday through Monday night, ending, it looks like, Tuesday morning. That gray color, by the way, is the dense fog advisory that was up earlier this morning for the Willamette Valley. Okay, so a map I've shown you a ton, right? I'm sure you have it memorized. Air coming out of the Gulf of Alaska. That's key because it brings us a west wind flow. Air out of the Gulf of Alaska can obviously be really cold. It's just that the air travels over Pacific waters where the temp is 50 degrees. So the air doesn't have a lot of time to get significantly colder once it's, leaves the ocean and gets into our area locally. But still, I'm sticking with my verbiage of Monday evening into early Tuesday, sticking snow, a really good bet between 200 and 500 feet. Now, the amount of moisture is somewhat suspect. This is not like a big ball of moisture that the jet stream is just funneling into us. It's more like, could be fairly steady rain Monday daytime, but that's when snow levels are generally going to be up in the mountains. And then by the time the snow levels start to fall Monday evening, the precipitation potentially gets a little more showery. And if it's scattered, then that makes it that much tougher to stack up an inch or two at any elevation, really. And I think that's what we're looking at. So here we go. The cold front arrives early Monday morning, 4 a.m. So you get up Monday morning, it will be raining. Here's the driving low. Again, this is the Gulf of Alaska. There's the northwest flow pattern kind of swinging in with this system. That second system you saw out to shore, for the most part, stays out to sea, by the way. Okay, snow level forecast. So this is what I put together. This is off of the American, what they call GFS model, and I'm just literally looking at the incremental time of what the model's putting out for snow levels with the air mass and how much moisture would be available. Okay, so 6 p.m., here we go. Snow level already now starting to fall quickly after dark down to 1,000 feet. Sandy, that's you. The top of the West Hills, that's you. Could there be enough moisture of 4 inches or more? It's at least a possibility. I'm not sure I would bet the farm on it, but at least the possibility that you could see that much. Because this is going to be, on again, off again snow Monday evening into the overnight. So that's a pretty lengthy window. Okay, snow levels quickly fall during the evening. By 8 p.m., we could be down to a 500-foot snow level. That could be 2 to 4 inches. You mostly, at 500 feet in our area, up and down the I-5 corridor, you're mostly looking at folks that live up in the hills, obviously up in the hills, that are used to this type of thing. But by 10 p.m., you get down to 200 feet. I'm going to show you an elevation chart in a moment, but 200 feet, that encompasses a lot of us. A lot of us live at 200 feet. 1 to 3 inches or dusting, a potential. Downtown Portland, I still think with that westerly flow, odds favor it being mostly wet roadways with temperatures holding Monday overnight into Tuesday AM at about 34 degrees. Could be hours of snow showers, but in terms of the actual, sidewalks and roads, if we stay at 34, those areas would stay wet. And if it's showery precipitation, if it's showery precipitation, it would be, I'm going crazy here. If it's showery precipitation, it would be that much more difficult to have the moisture intensity to drive the temperatures down below 34. Anyway, what about the mountains? Cascades. 12 to 16 inches. It's snowing all day up there Monday through Monday night. That's great news. The Coast Range, you don't see this as often, 6 to 8 inches with the snow level lowering to about 1,500 feet mid-afternoon. So starting mid-afternoon, let's say Monday 3 p.m., we could start to see snow over Highway 26 and the Wilson River Highway, Highway 6, over the Coast Range, going into Seaside, for example, in Cannon Beach and Tillamook. So that's noteworthy for travel, and we would expect the Coast Range to be pretty much as covered as snow by the time we wake up Tuesday morning. Okay, here's that elevation map. This is interesting. Who lives at 200 feet? And the answer is a lot of us. Salem, 200 feet. Hillsboro, 200 feet at the airport. Aurora, 200 feet. I mentioned Hood River because by the time you take 84 out to Hood River, the downtown city center actually sits at 630 feet. So they could be getting some snow, but it looks like it's going to take a while for the snow level out in the gorge because of the west wind flow to really get down to 32. But clearly there's the chance of some accumulation out in the Hood River Valley Monday night into Tuesday morning. So we're watching that. Hazeldale and Clark County, that's where I live. So you're pretty close to sea level when you cross the Interstate Bridge or the Glenn Jackson Bridge along the Columbia River, but then you start going up. It's not that noticeable, but you start going up. You get to 200 feet. Kelso Longview, right where I-84 is, that's low. That's 50 feet. Obviously, there's a lot of hills up in the Cowlitz County area where people live higher than 200 feet, in fact. And then downtown Portland, if you just, play a little game and you pick this city block and that city block, the heart of downtown right along the river is about 50 feet. And then there are some areas of downtown that go up to about 125 feet. But generally, this is in that area where I mentioned I think there's the chance that we stay simply above freezing. So we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, so the forecast. Let's just start with Monday. 41 in the morning. The cold front comes in about 4 a.m. That's rain. This is a rainy day. Weather models show about 4/10 to at most, a half of an inch of possible liquid moisture with this entire storm. Now, most of that is going to fall Monday morning, Monday afternoon when it's just rain, okay? It's after dark Monday evening that the snow levels start going down, which brings into question those amounts that I showed you. Those aren't guaranteed amounts. Those are possible amounts. I think if anything, the snow up totals would be lower and not higher than my numbers, if that makes sense. Tuesday, this moisture could shut off by sunrise Tuesday. Tuesday, for the most part, quickly goes dry and becomes partly cloudy. 34 PDX if I'm right. Now understand, this is a close call. Could I be wrong? Could downtown Portland get down to 30 degrees and have a dusting to an inch of snow? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a close call. Wednesday dry. Thursday, that's a slight chance of showers. I really think Thursday is going to be dry. And Friday could actually end up being dry as well, as we have cold nights and then warming afternoons. Coldest morning overall will be Wednesday, 27 degrees. There could be some spots more like 24 or 25 that morning, as we're still kind of in the remnants of that Gulf of Alaska air mass. Okay, I will certainly update this Monday afternoon. I think Monday afternoon into Monday evening, I'll have a better idea of the available moisture, maybe some growing confidence to tell you that Sandy is going to get 4 inches or more. Growing confidence to say, yeah, at 500 feet, you could at least get a couple inches. Anyway, I think so. The timeline of this storm and how cold the air is seems to be pretty set. But once again, my update coming tomorrow afternoon into the 5 o'clock hour. I will talk to you then. Enjoy this Super Bowl Sunday. And by the way, hit subscribe. Tell your friends.